behalf of organizers, participants, media and guests, now I would like to invite today's Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. D. Paul Tagore, Vice President, IM Gates Limited, onto the dais. Welcome, sir. Dr. Paul Tagore is by qualification AMA in Public Administration, Bachelor of Law, MBA, PhD and studied at MCC Madras Christian College, Madras Law College and Indian Institute of Management, Lucknow. He has been serving as the Global Head HR since 2010, heading 25 offices in India and 18 countries abroad. He now serves as the Vice President HR in the IMG Group and heads India and overseas. I heartfully welcome on behalf of all participants to the honor. Now, it's a time for felicitating the chief guest of today's ceremony, and I would like to call upon Anthony sir to felicitate Dr. Paul Tagore. Please join hands together. Thank you, sir. With these few words, and now I will invite Honorable Chief Guest Dr. Paul Tagore to give away his speech on this occasion. Thank you, sir.
Dear Mr. Anthony Muthu, Dr. Balu, who are the President and the Secretary of CAB's Educational Charitable Institution, and all the intellectuals who are gathered here, it's, yes, a good morning to you because we left with just a few minutes before we touched 12. Are there anyone who had participated in such a program last year who are present here? Anyone who had participated in this program last year? Okay, I just see one hand over here. I heard a few of you all speaking on the aspects of plagiarism, and even with hearing just that few, I did find that probably academic plagiarism seemed to be an overdose now. I've not heard all of you because I only heard about last 3 of you. So, just my point to you is this. With your permission, if you feel, shall I shift from academic plagiarism and go into some other area of plagiarism if you wish to have it? You're going to tell me. Sure? Yeah? Because I found a lot of repetitions, because when you have the same topic, naturally, there's bound to be repetitions. We cannot blame the speakers, and they are all great scholars and postgraduates, PhDs, postdoctorates who are all gathered here. So I just want to go away from that. When I came here, I just wanted to listen to what is being heard and what is being spoken, and to speak on something which has not been represented here. I was able to find that most of which was spoken here was more on the academic side, naturally, because you are all from the educational side. So with so much spoken about what is plagiarism with respect to the academic side, now I'm just thinking of if I could speak to you on what is social plagiarism, which is away from academics, not at all from academics, just for a change. Because when speakers were speaking here, I found some people who were discussing some research works amongst them. I do not want that to happen and probably make this more interesting. So therefore, I'm shifting into the area of social plagiarism with your permission. Now, if you watch the television, a lot of debates that you watch, you would find that one group keeps accusing. I'm naming it as group. You'll get to know who I'm speaking of. One group will blame the other group and say that you are accusing me of having done all these wrongs here at this point of time, but in that year, in that place, you did the same wrong. The point is, if one person or one group to whichever they are affiliated, that's why I'm very cautious in using my words, which you would understand what happens on national debate when you find about, say, 4 or 5 people on the screens, mostly shouting out, and we're not able to hear what they are speaking. Every time what happens is that when one is accused of something wrong, they immediately state the other person in that year you did that was wrong. Now, does it mean to say, under social plagiarism, if one person had done or one group had done something wrong in which year, I can also do it now? And is it justified? Does 2 wrongs make something right? Minus into minus in mathematics could be plus. But on the social side, that's academic side, minus into minus, plus. But on the social side, just because someone did it wrong some years back, we hear our own people are people who need to take care of us. I'm not mentioning whom, I'm very careful on that. They're trying to at least say something to justify their acts, they justify their wrong acts, and say, we did that because they have also done it. This is what I call as negative plagiarism on the social side. There was a case in the trial court. I'm stating this because I studied in law college long ago, and I also take care of legal activities. There was a case in which one person was accused of a crime. It was a murder. He said, I watched this movie in which that person had done this crime in this way. So I just copied, that's what you're talking of, plagiarism. I just copied how he committed that murder, and I did that. This is negative plagiarism. I'm talking about social plagiarism. I'm not into academic plagiarism. So I want to divide this into negative plagiarism and positive plagiarism on the side of social plagiarism. I would not like to dwell more on this negative plagiarism because it is corrupting society to such an extent. But let me go more into positive plagiarism. I had a colleague of mine long ago. He used to be dressed in a white shirt and a white dhoti. And that material was also cotton, or if you could call it, it's khadar. That's what they say, khadi. He used to wear that. So he was very senior to me, and I was talking to him, and I asked him, why do you wear this kind of a dress when everyone wants to outsmart the other, wearing different kinds of attires and being colorful? Then he said, see, when I was in school and in college, I used to try to get the best of a colorful dress and see that I'm highly and well dressed. I've been doing this all along. And then he's very senior to me, and then when I came to college, so I thought, okay, I should be some more, and I became the college leader, the college chairman or secretary or something. I held that position. And I used to be very well dressed, and every day I used to look at myself, try to be very presentable, very colorful. But one day, I met a person who came to my college, and he spoke on certain subjects. When I listened to him, my life changed. I felt I should copy this person who has really touched my life. I left away all my kind of luxury, all my thoughts of this colorful dress, and I went into it. The person who spoke at his college was former Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, who is also called as a great leader in Tamil, Peruntalaivar Kamaraj. That had influenced his life. Because when Peruntalaivar Kamaraj had spoken at that occasion, he spoke about Gandhiji's life and said how when he was in Africa, he was always in a full suit. I think you would have seen that in the movies. He was in full suit. He was a barrister of law, and he was in a full suit. And how he changed to that total different attire of just having one cloth around him. So when he listened to the former Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, from that day he said, my life was changed. I did copy the ideals of this great person, and that's why I'm in white dhoti and in white shirt. Even when I went for his daughter's wedding, I found him in the same dress. Then I asked him, at least today, your daughter's wedding, you could have been a bit more colorful. He said, no. I have copied that ideals of that great leader. One is Perundalaivar Kamaraj, and one is the great Mahatma Gandhi. I will not go away from it. Now this is, according to me, positive plagiarism. We would have heard about Nelson Mandela. He fought against apartheid. He fought against racial discrimination in South Africa. And he was put into prison, and he was there for 27 years. He's been a youngster. While he was a youngster, he was jailed. Later became the president of South Africa. When he was asked, who was your role model and what did you try to imbibe in your life? He said, I followed the great person who was once in my country in South Africa, and that person who fought against racial discrimination through non-violence, the great Mahatma Gandhi. That is positive plagiarism. I was speaking on a live program on Doordarshan Kendra. Maybe it's more than 10 years back. I just want to give you a gist of what I spoke. I was saying there was a young person who was living abroad. He was the 7th child in the family. They were living in poverty. His mother was a teacher. The mother said, son, I'm not able to feed you. It's very difficult for me. You got to go into the train, sell candies and newspaper. And that is how we can make a living. That is how, son, I can feed you. So this little boy started doing that. But he said, I also want to go to school. So they put him to school. Just a few years, he was pronounced as being insane and he was sent out of school. The reason is he asked a lot of questions to his teachers during his early schooling. So the mother said, I'm a teacher. I would help you out. And the father said, I can borrow books from everywhere, give you a lot of books, and we can make you study. And he started studying alongside, but every day going on the train. You see a lot of vendors on the train, and he was selling candies. He used to get into the train, sell the newspapers, and that's how he made a living. It so happened, there was a child which fell into the railway track. And since he is very good at going and traveling in the train and being on the pavement of the railway station, like how you see in the cinemas, like how the hero dives, he dived, picked the child and rolled away so that the train did not hit the child. He saved the life of the child. And the person who was the father of that child called him and said, what do you want? I want to help you. You saved the life of my child. He said, I'm selling candies this way on the train. I'm not educated, but I've been doing a lot of things on my own. I want some kind of technical job. Can you give me a technical job? He said, yes, this is my office address. Come, I'll give you a technical job. He was given a technical job, and he started operating on that. After some time, he said, this doesn't seem to work good. I want to do something more than that. Can you help me? He said, what do you want? They took him to the owner of the company. He said, I need a room. I need all these apparatus. I want these. Everyone laughed at him. They said, come on, don't be silly. He's not a BE. He's not a BTech. He's not a postdoctorate. Nothing. But he has been studying science on his own through all his contacts, his mother and father. There was another friend of his who worked in that company. His name is Franklin. Franklin found out something about his friend. So Franklin said, see, I understand your state of poverty. You're struggling. I'll give you a place. Come and stay with me. Whatever you want to do, try to do that. And I'll help you out. So he went to his friend's place, stayed there. The person who gave him the job, because it saved the children's life, he said, I want to help you. I will do whatever that I can. And so this person started his journey. Are you able to find out about whom I am speaking? Anyone? Anyone who can find out about whom I am speaking? He's now known as the father of scientists. He has 1,093 inventions. I'm talking of Thomas Alva Edison. This is what I spoke on Doordarshan Kendra. And when I concluded, I said, see, I'm appealing to all you students who are watching this program on Doordarshan Kendra. You could have a fire in you. Follow such great scientists, read their books, study their lives. They came out of utter poverty. They did not even have a food to eat. This is the way they struggled. And if you go through the biodata of Thomas Alva Edison, you know what does his education say? Postdoctorate? Self-educated. 1093 patents. You just name it, he's done everything. From this moving camera to the distribution of power to just about anything, the phonograph, the sound recording, everything is what he has done. In fact, while I was speaking at Doordarshan Kendra, I also said, but for all these inventions, you would not have such a program going on air. It was a live show which was going on. And I had appealed to students. Many months later, there was a student who came to Doordarshan Kendra, wanted my phone number, got in touch with me, and said, sir, I want to meet you in person. So he came and met me. Then he said, I listened to what all you said. It sparked me a lot. And while I was speaking, I also told him, I'm not only talking to you about one great Thomas Alva Edison around the world, I'm also talking to you about our great man, our great scientist, Dr. Abdul Kalam. Why not you be one? He said, that inspired me. So that was Diwali time. I told my mother, I don't want crackers. I don't want sweets. I don't want new dress. I want books. I want to learn. I want to study. I want to invent something very soon. He worked for almost about 8 months. He worked. His teachers guided him. Teachers play an important role. His teachers guided him like anything. And he found a model. That model detects tsunami because it was just after tsunami. It detects tsunami. It's a buoy which can be placed in the sea and which can send signals to the main station of an impending tsunami. He was a schoolboy. I think he was studying in 10th or 11th standard. And he took it to the top scientist in Chennai, and they all approved of it. And he was called to Delhi to come and demonstrate that. So he told me, I'm leaving by this train from Central. I want you to be there. Only with your best wishes, I'm going to leave Chennai to go to Delhi to present this. But for you having inspired me that day, I would not have done it. So I went and met him in Central Station. I met his father and his mother. I met his younger sister. I spent some nice time with him before he could go to Delhi. Now, then he was a schoolboy more than a decade back. I lost touch with him. Today, he would have finished some good course. He would be a top-ranking scientist somewhere in India. I'm trying to reach him out through this program. And I definitely know, because it goes through the media, that I would very soon meet him. Now, he had that fire in him, and he wanted to copy that ideals of one great person and do something good for society. That's positive plagiarism. Before I just conclude with this subject, I just want to leave you with 2 very simple thoughts in just a minute. Now, you are real intellectuals, professors, postdoctorates, heads of institutions, heads of department. You people interact with your students on a daily basis, whereas I don't do, because I am from the corporate side. I'm only involved in training. I don't interact with students on a day-to-day basis. But yes, whenever there's an opportunity, I do that. There are 2 things I feel that you could probably teach your people. The first thing is, you would teach them how that they need to work for money. You would teach them how they need to work for money, and also teach them how money works. What is money works? What is the value of money? Many people do not know it. How money works. So teach them how to work for money and how money works. More than that, something which has recently saddened me, an activity which is happening for the past 2 weeks, which I've been reading in newspapers as well as on television channels. I'll tell you what. When you teach your students how to achieve success, teach them how to handle failures. When you teach your students how to achieve success, teach them how to handle failures. It's not 10th standard students or 12th standard students. Students of very premier institutions in the country, I don't know to name the institutions, recently ended their lives. Please teach them how to handle failures as well. These are social positive plagiarism. Now we think that plagiarism has been spoken just these years. Plagiarism was also spoken in a different form. I'm talking of social plagiarism. 2000 years back. You would really wonder. The person who spoke it just said it in 2 lines. I will also call him as a management guru. Can you just name who that person could be? Yes? Yeah, you can be a bit loud. Let me hear. Thiruvalluvar. Thiruvalluvar. Maybe it could be. I've not heard much about him. It could be. Yeah. Now, why I say a management guru? There is no subject on which Thiruvalluvar is not wrote. There is no subject on which Thiruvalluvar is not wrote. Just for information, how many of you all know Tamil? Because you're all across the country here. Okay. There seems to be a few who know Tamil. In any case, I'll translate what he said into English as well. Now he said, Yeppurul yar yar vai ketpinum appurul மெய்ப்பொருள் காண்பது அறிவு. எப்பொருள் யார் யார் வாய் கேட்பினும் அப்பொருள் மெய்ப்பொருள் காண்பது அறிவு. What he meant by this was, whatever that you hear, from whomsoever ever that you hear, get what is right, get what is positive, get the truth, and not only that, when you get this positive points, when you get the positive truth, when you get the positive facts, when you get what is good, get that good into yourself, inculcate it to your people, you imbibe that goodness in you, spread that around, and let everything in the society, amongst the people, be good. So let's be good, let's do good, and as positive plagiarism on the social side, let's be good and do good always. Thank you.